oligarchy. From a 1/2 euro II cubed II, meaning few, and a 1/4 II per mil, meaning to rule or to command, is a form of power structure in which power effectively rests with a small number of people. These people could be distinguished by royalty, wealth, family ties, education, corporate, religious or military control. Such states are often controlled by a few prominent families who typically pass their influence from one generation to the next, but inheritance is not a necessary condition for the application of this term. Throughout history, oligarchies have often been tyrannical, though others have been seen as relatively benign. Aristotle pioneered the use of the term as a synonym for rule by the rich, for which the exact term is plutocracy. However, oligarchy is not always ruled by the wealthy, as oligarchs can simply be a privileged group, and do not have to be connected by either wealth or by bloodlines, as in a monarchy. History, especially during the 4th century BCE, after the restoration of democracy from oligarchical coups, the Athenians used the drawing of lots for selecting government officers in order to counteract what the Athenians acutely saw as a tendency toward oligarchy in government if a professional governing class were allowed to use their skills for their own benefit. They drew lots from large groups of adult volunteers as a selection technique for civil servants performing judicial, executive, and administrative functions. They even used lots for very important posts, such as judges and jurors in the political courts, which had the power to overrule the assembly. Specific examples: Russian Federation. Since the collapse of the Soviet Union on December 31, 1991, privately owned Russia-based multinational corporations, including producers of petroleum, natural gas, and metal have, in the view of some analysts, become oligarchs. In May 2004, the Russian edition of Forbes identified 36 of these oligarchs as being worth at least $1 billion each. A report by Credit Suisse in 2013 states that Russia has the highest level of wealth inequality in the world, apart from small Caribbean nations with resident billionaires. Worldwide, there is one billionaire for every $170 billion in household wealth. Russia has one for every $11 billion. Worldwide, billionaires collectively account for 2% of total household wealth. In Russia today, 110 billionaires own 35% of all wealth. United States. Some contemporary authors have characterized current conditions in the United States as being oligarchic in nature. Simon Johnson wrote that the re-emergence of an American financial oligarchy is quite recent, a structure which he delineated as being the most advanced in the world. Jeffrey A. Winters wrote that oligarchy and democracy operate within a single system, and American politics is a daily display of their interplay. Bernie Sanders opined in a 2010 The Nation article that an upper crust of extremely wealthy families are hell-bent on destroying the democratic vision of a strong middle class which has made the United States the envy of the world. In its place, they are determined to create an oligarchy in which a small number of families control the economic and political life of our country. The top 1% in 2007 had a larger share of total income than at any time since 1928. In 2011, according to a variety of sources, the 413 American billionaires own more of the net wealth than the poorest 50% of the population of the United States. French economist Thomas Piketty states in his 2013 book, Capital in the 21st Century, that the risk of a drift towards oligarchy is real and gives little reason for optimism about where the United States is headed. A study conducted by political scientists Martin Gilens of Princeton University, and Benjamin Page of Northwestern University, was released in April 2014, which stated that their analyses suggest that majorities of the American public actually have little influence over the policies our government adopts. It also suggested that Americans do enjoy many features central to democratic governance, such as regular elections, freedom of speech and association, and a widespread franchise. Gilens and Page do not characterize the U.S. as an oligarchy per se. However, they do apply the concept of civil oligarchy as used by Winters with respect to the U.S. Most recently, Jeffrey Winters has posited a comparative theory of oligarchy in which the wealthiest citizens even in a civil oligarchy like the United States dominate policy concerning crucial issues of wealth and income protection. Gilens says that average citizens only get what they want if economic elites or interest groups also want it, that is, economic elites and interest groups are influential. In fiction, a well-known fictional oligarchy is represented by the Inner Party in George Orwell's novel 1984. The socialists in the Jack London novel The Iron Heel fight a rebellion against the oligarchy ruling in the United States. In The Enders Quartet, by Orson Scott Card, specifically Speaker for the Dead, Xenocide, and Children of the Mind, there is an oligarchy of the Starways Congress which rules by controlling communication by the Ansible. The nation Panem, controlled by its capital, in the Hunger Games trilogy is also a form of oligarchy, as is the nation of Tyr in Robert Jordan's The Wheel of Time. See also. References. Further reading, Islund, Anders, Comparative Oligarchy, Russia, Ukraine and the United States, Case Network Studies and Analyses No. 296, Carnegie Endowment for International Peace, doi, 10.2139/SSRN 1441910. Gordon, Daniel. Hiring Law Professors, Breaking the Back of an American Plutocratic Oligarchy. Widener Law Journal 19, 1 €29, Hollingsworth, Mark. Lansley, Stuart. Londongrad, From Russia with Cash, The Inside Story of the Oligarchs. Fourth Estate. ISBN A978-0007356379. J. M. Moore, ed. Aristotle and Xenophon on Democracy and Oligarchy. University of California Press. ISBN A0-520-02909-7. Ostwald, M. Oligarchia, The Development of a Constitutional Form in Ancient Greece. Stuttgart, Steiner, 2000. Ramsier, J. Mark. Rosenbluth, Francis McCall. The Politics of Oligarchy, Institutional Choice in Imperial Japan. Cambridge University Press. ISBN A978-0521636490. Tabachnik, David. Koivakovsky, Twavu. On Oligarchy, Ancient Lessons for Global Politics. University of Toronto Press. ISBN A978-1442661,165. Whibley, Leonard. Greek Oligarchies, Their Character and Organizations. G. P. Putnam Sons. Retrieved August 18, 2012. Winters, Jeffrey A. Oligarchy. Northwestern University, Illinois, Cambridge University Press. ISBN A978-1107005,280. External links